I did quite a lot of work, environmental issues, for the Independent. There were several reporters that I palled up with, including a man called Oliver Gilley, who was a medical editor, but he also wrote on the environment, and Nicholas Schoon, he did environmental issues. And we'd be in contact with the National Trust or English Heritage, or basically bodies that were having a bit of a bellyache, a bit of a protest about I don't know, building a new Tesco superstore on a water meadow or something. And I would be charged to go down and make a photograph of these landscapes. Now, wonderful if it's rolling hills, early morning with the mist rising. I mean, you're in your element. But quite often you get there and it really was just a water meadow and pretty flat. And you maybe have 2 hours and you'd have to get back to the office because there was something far more important to do, or they needed that picture as a holding frame. So my way of doing this was to look at it and this probably sounds pretty bloody pretentious actually, but I'd look at it almost turning the landscape upside down, and I'd look at it as a piece of theatre, as a piece of thirds composition, and I think, well, how would Constable have done this? Because he painted pretty flat landscape in Suffolk, for goodness sake, but he made something wonderful out of it. And through the use of filters, I would make the skies very dramatic, I think we could say. Over dramatic. In those days, you could put a thing called a red filter on the front of your camera, and red worked against the panchromatic film system, which made the blue sky, because it's the other end of the spectrum, made the blue sky completely black. Now, if you have white clouds in the sky, little puffy white clouds, they stood out, and they did look pretty damn good, actually. And then we used to do our own bromide printing. We had printers, but quite often you come back, and if you printed the print normally, it would, well, quite honestly, it would just go straight in the bin, and it certainly wouldn't go on the page. But if you made a theatrical print with really good, what we used to call ballsy sky, and you'd lift the foreground and you print the bromide really hard and crisp, all of a sudden you produce something from nothing that would work on the printed page, but again, only because we could carry a black. And of course, the Independent became noted for its huge skies and dramatic landscape photographs. And the whole black sky thing, it became, we sort of fell on our sword on this towards the end. But this is an example of what I'm talking about. This is basically Stowe Temple, been restored using £1 million worth of government money or whatever. And at the end of the day, it's not very interesting. But if you put a red filter on that and you make the sky black, and then someone walked across the foreground, all of a sudden you've got a really beautiful structured image. And that ran on the front page of the Independent. I don't think any other newspaper would have run it on the front page or even inside, quite honestly. But just by using the filters, which you could do in those days. And now, of course, we're shooting digitally, and virtually every photograph you take, whether it's on an iPhone or on a £5,000 Nikon or Canon, is perfect. But does it say anything? I don't think so.